I'm here with Jacob Smith, quarterback for the Reagan Raiders. Last year, we saw you in a big game against Mooresville, big win. You throw the game-winning touchdown, but at the same time, you tear your ACL. It was the highest of highs and the lowest of lows for you in just a couple of hours. You know, how does it feel to finally be back out here with these guys this summer, going into a big-time matchup, Week 1 coming up this Friday?
Yeah, man, it's awesome. I mean, obviously, like you said, the ACL, that you never want that to happen. You never wish it upon anybody, and you know, unfortunate it happened to me, and but you know, from that it's been a lot of growth, and probably the hardest thing I've ever had to go through. But you know, I took it head on and tackled it, and was able to get through it, and now I'm back healthy and stronger than I've ever been before. So, you know, feel great about the season, feel great about the team we have.
I think a lot of people admire your resilience just through the whole process. Like, in the back of your mind, like you said, it was a low point for you. But what do you think was that driving force that kept you going to be where you are today?
Yeah, you know, I think it was two things. I think one of them was just the love for the game that I have. You know, like I said, I've never been hurt, never had the game taken away from me. So when something like that drastic, especially an injury that big that took baseball away from me too. So it takes two big pieces of my life, you know, out of the picture for a year. So it was that, and kind of just love for the game, and also the support system that I have. You know, when you get hurt or something happens to you, you realize, you know, how many people you have around you. And you know, I was fortunate that I have a huge support system and a ton of people around me that, you know, got me through it and helped me mentally.
Now, I know you're talking about your support system. That's what I want to kind of talk to you about before we get into how excited you are for this, you know, Week 1 matchup. Talk to me about your relationship with NC State. You're committed for football and baseball, and how they helped you throughout the recovery process.
Yeah, they're great people, both baseball and football. On the baseball side of things, Coach Chrysler, Coach Avent, Coach Hart. I've, you know, been committed to them for almost 4 years now. So, you know, just kind of grown in that relationship over the years. And, you know, as soon as I did it, they reached out to me, and they were with me through it, the whole thing. And then obviously the football side of things, Coach Roper, Coach Doran, and literally after I tore it on Friday, had an MRI on Tuesday, found that I tore it on Tuesday, and you know, my dad actually called him because I was not in the mindset to call him just because I was so torn from it. So my dad gave him a call and told him I did it, and 2 hours later, Coach Roper and Coach Doran reached out to me, and like 2 weeks later, the whole coaching staff sent me letters. So, you know, it was the love that they showed. You know, I'm part of the family, and it was great to get it from them, and you know, they helped me get through it for sure.
So going into this season, I feel like you probably learned a lot last year, being almost like a coach and being with the coaches on the sideline. You know, what are some of those lessons that you can take into this season that you learned from that perspective and being with the coaches rather than being on the field 24/7?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, the getting hurt probably helped me grow, like I said, mentally off the field, but it also helped me grow mentally on the field, because when you can't play, you take the playing out of it, but then you focus in on the details of, you know, seeing different coverages and kind of growing my game as far as the mental side of it goes. So, you know, getting to coach for 9-10 games and help Brenner out, and also, you know, grow myself mentally, and, you know, get advice from McGee. And, you know, as soon as I got hurt, and I was in his corner the whole time, in McGee's ear, and just taking lessons from him and putting them into my game.
Now, coming back with the guys, I know it's got to feel a little weird, you know, coming back, you know, for summer practice and whatnot. Was it pretty easy for you, or was it difficult to, you know, just get back in the saddle with these guys and some of the new faces maybe?
No, yeah, I mean, I would say it was both easy and difficult. You know, I've been starting here this is my 4th year, so, you know, the leadership side of it wasn't that challenging because I've kind of been in that role since my sophomore year. Obviously, my freshman year we had Sam and Samaj, so I was the freshman that was kind of following their lead, and I was able to step into the leadership role my sophomore year. So the leadership side of things and the command of the team, I got right back into the saddle and those side of things. But, I mean, I'd be lying to you if I didn't say those summer workouts were hard, just because I had to get back into football shape. And, you know, I was restricted a lot in the spring as far as we had the 6 a.m. workouts. I was super restricted just because I was coming back from the knee. But when I got fully released June 19th, it was all go. And, you know, I feel like I've gotten to my body back to a point where I'm 215, 6'2". So, you know, I think I've gotten myself back to a really good spot, and I feel great about the team.
So first game is going to be this Friday night against a Winston-Salem rival, you know, Mount Tabor. How are you feeling going into that game, and how excited are you just to, you know, hear that whistle be blown for your first time walking out there at that game on Friday?
No, yeah, obviously I feel great. You know, it's but I mean, at the end of the day, there's going to be a lot of outside noise, but I think I got this advice from my dad and Coach McGee. You got to cancel out all the outside noise and just worry about yourself and worry about your guys. So, I think it'll be an electric crowd, and there will be a lot of people, and there will be a lot of noise around the game. But I think if we just execute and take care of business and play the football we do, then we'll be in good shape.
Now, one last question: is it bittersweet, that it's going to be your senior year this year?
Yeah, man, it's tough. It feels like yesterday I walked in here and I was the new freshman coming along, and it's like I said, everybody says time flies. It sounds cliche, but it really does. It's crazy. I'm gonna enroll early in January, so I'll be out here in December. So I don't know. Time flies. It's bittersweet, but I'm excited. It's been a journey, and I'm ready to finish it off on a high note.
Well, I'm excited to cover you this senior year, man. Best of luck for Friday, man.
Yes, sir. I appreciate it.